Hello everyone, today what we have here is the ZOTAC Gaming Zone. So as you can see, this is a fully functional unit, and as you can see at the back here you have the RGB, which they call it the Spectra or something like that. And in today's video we're gonna dismantle this and see what's inside, what's upgradable, and also how easy it is to repair. We won't do a full teardown, but it should give you a very good idea on how to proceed into messing with this machine if you ever want to swap out some parts or service it or something like that. What the heck is this thing so buggy? So we turn off the machine first. So look into this area here. Okay, now it's completely shut down. So the first thing what we need to do is to actually take out these rubber plugs. All of the screw holes are indeed with a rubber plug. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. So let me do that real quick. Once you get all of those plugs out, you can see inside here they're using a standard Phillips screwdriver. So let's get unscrewing right now. One thing to take note is that if you use a screwdriver like this, then this screw hole might be a problem because you can see there are lots of teeth inside to hold the rubber plug. So if you want to put this in, it will literally just brush against those teeth. So you need to use a slimmer Phillips head screwdriver like this one so that you can fit it in nice and proper, and then you don't have to grind against those teeth inside. Okay, that's easy. So once you unscrew everything, the back plate just pops out. Gotta be careful somewhere around the bottom part here. So ta-da! There is gonna be a power cable leading from here to here for the RGB backplate. So let me just disconnect that. And there we go. This is the entire innards of the ZOTAC Gaming Zone. So the battery here is a 48.51 watt-hour battery. Single cell, kind of huge. So the motherboard is only around this size here. We have an M.2 2280 SSD. So let me just take it out here for you guys to see. The SSD is a bit difficult to get to, so you can see here it's literally embedded inside this recess here, because this is where the right joystick is gonna be, and here is where the motherboard is, battery, then the right joystick. So there's a weirdly deep recess here for the SSD, but still we can get it out, and there we go. It literally sits above the RAM. Okay. So it is using Micron RAM here, so they even have a sticker here to tell you what variant it is. 8840U plus 16 gigs of RAM. So looking at the back plate here, we can see the trigger locks are done by this part. So the mechanism literally just moves this thing in and out. So you can see that's how the trigger locks. This is how it unlocks. So the slider mechanism will literally go into this little gap here. This gap to prevent it from going down all the way. So that's the trigger lock. And in terms of how you can remove everything else, it's quite straightforward, I would say. So the speakers, downward firing speakers are here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. And then if you want to take out this part of the, I would say the daughter board for the joysticks mechanism and whatnot, take out the speakers, and then you have to take out 1, 2 screws, I think. You know what, let us just do that. Do remember that this is not a repair guide, it's more like just to tear down and see what's inside, because I'm curious that way. Yeah. So the speaker cable is very tiny. It's yeah, I think it's like a thickness of a strand of hair. So there are 2 cables here connected to this little connector on the bottom of the SSD compartment, so I'm not gonna touch that. So let me just take out these 2 screws and see how things go. Not sure how's the mechanism going to be for this thing. So 2 screws, and I think that's how we can take out this board. Oh, the whole thing comes out. That's good. So it's a bit finicky, but yeah, and that is how you take out this part of the board. Unfortunately, if you want to access the face buttons, you will have to take out this tinier board to get access to those buttons and also clean the membrane and whatnot, which is kind of annoying, but at least you can get to the joysticks a lot easier compared to something like the ROG Ally and whatnot. So that is good. So I think I will close this side of the board because there's really nothing much to see here. Oh, do be careful when you want to attach back this board to the part here, because they are using this kind of pogo connector thing. I'm not sure if you can see it, so I'll just show you a picture here because that would be safer than me lifting up the entire mechanism and actually showing it to the camera. So yeah, so I don't think I will do it for this side here because there are just way too many components and I'm really not gonna be bothered with all of those stuff. So let me just connect it back here and we'll be continuing with the video after we've done that. A few more things to highlight here is that if you want to take out this piece of cooler here, which is literally a heatsink strapped directly into the fan with an air duct that takes in air directly from the back middle part here into the fan and then exhausts all the way out here. So in theory, this should be a more efficient cooler, since if ZOTAC is using a vapor chamber, it should be more effective than using heat pipes like the ROG Ally and whatnot. So to take this out, you have one screw here, two screws, 3, 4, 5, it should be the 6th screw here, and then this thing should be able to be just lifted up and then we get access to what's underneath. But the motherboard should be only this side, this small little compartment here, because as you can see here, the RAM is already on this side and the SSD literally goes on top. There is a tiny gap between the RAM and also the SSD, so I'm not too worried about SSDs getting overheated or the RAM getting overheated and whatnot. So there's that. And overall, in terms of serviceability, from our very brief teardown, I would say it's kind of difficult to finesse with all of these cables, because as you can see, the fan cable, which you will need to remove before actually taking out the fan, is so tiny that you're gonna need some sort of calipers and whatnot just to take this connector out. And same goes to a lot of other connectors as well, like all of these ones. They are very tiny and they are hidden in such an angled location that it's not gonna be that easy to take it out or install for that matter. So yeah, I think that's it. We don't really have anything else to tear down. Battery replacement seems to be easy, so it seems to be glued down here entirely. There is no screw or whatsoever, so it seems to be like just adhesive down below. And yeah, just tear this out and then we can replace the battery, but I'm not sure where the battery connects to because it's not that obvious. So yeah, I have to return this unit too, by the way. That's why I cannot do that much of a teardown for this video. And by the way, this thing can be taken out as well. So maybe if you're feeling fancy, you can 3D print your own and put it into this slot here. Whoa, reverse. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.